Showing up. What's up? Back again. Day 3. Let's get into it. Day 3. The first day, we talked about the basics. The second day, we got into the imbalances. We checked in on how we felt. And day 3 is all about healing that. So how do you feel? How are you feeling today? You feeling good? Yeah? No? That's okay. I'm about to tell you my story. Let me tell you my healing story because, again, you go through the pressure so you can come back with the medicine. So I'm going to give you my medicine. It's not going to work for everybody. Sorry. It ain't going to work for everybody. Nope. But it worked for me. And it might work for you too. So, where do you start? The mirror. Start in the mirror. You ready for a change? Go to the mirror. Go look at the man in the mirror. What do you say? Asking him to change his ways? No. Yeah. Yes. Go to the mirror. And look at yourself. Look at yourself. And when you stare at yourself, just observe your thoughts. Observe your thoughts. What do you think? Are you overanalyzing yourself? Do you see yourself? Can you see yourself? What do you see? Do you like what you see? Just observe. You don't have to commit to any of those thoughts or any of those feelings. They don't have to be true. This is just a check-in. You just check in first to see how you feel. Because one day you're going to check in, and if you don't like how you feel now, you'll probably like how you feel later. So start in the mirror. What I did when I was going through the roughest time of my life and didn't understand how I was going to be more positive when things around me were falling apart. I'm like, yeah, I can, say all of that I want, but around me, everything's falling apart. Like, how do I change my mind about how I feel when this is the reality? And I got in the mirror, and every day I started to wake up, look at myself and say, I am happy. I am happy. And you know what? I was probably crying. Most of those days, especially in the start, I would look at myself and I would actually be crying, saying, I am happy. Why am I crying? Because I'm not happy. I'm not even understanding why I'm doing this. This was suggested, and I'm like, I'm not really happy, and I'm looking in the mirror, and I don't know if it's making me happy looking in the mirror crying about it. But I did it. I committed to that. And one day, I just woke up. My alarm clock didn't go off. I just woke up at the right time. At this time, I had lost my job and was like an Uber driver. I was in nursing school. And, Ubering was kind of like fishing back then. You really ain't know what you was going to get. You might be out there 12 hours and make like $20. Or you might be out there an hour and make $100. You just never really knew what you were going to pick up. And so, some days was tough. I just didn't want to get up and go into this, I don't know if I'm going to make enough money today. Am I going to be out there for 12 hours, 8 hours? But how long am I going to have to be out there, It was kind of scary to me. But, one day, I woke up without my alarm. I walked into the bathroom and looked in the mirror. And was like, oh shit. I'm happy. I'm actually happy. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. And I have literally woken up happy every day since I had changed my mind. I had officially changed my mind. They say it takes 21 days to make a new habit. I don't know how many days I woke up and said that, but one day I just woke up happy. And that shifted everything. I went out there to get that money, and it was like I was in the right place at the right time. It was like everybody was looking out for me. I'm getting tips. I'm not riding out here for 12 hours to get that cell phone money. I'm out here for like 2. I'm done. Close up shop and go home and study. And go home and relax. Really kind of like those commercials. Like 1 minute you could be working, and the next minute you could be playing. I might be all the way out in D.C. Now I got enough money to just hang. And that's what I was going to go do. Go enjoy the scenery in the moment. I started to slow down for these moments. This is how you heal. You slow down for these moments. I feel like we're always rushed. We always have somewhere to go, somewhere to be. There's always something on the agenda. And sometimes you need to slow down. Slow it down. Smell the roses. Okay, so that's one thing. That's one thing. That's how you fake it till you make it unhappy, right? But 21 days is a long period of time to be waking up trying to get to that happy. So what else do you do in the meantime? Well, you gotta control your mind, right? All those scary thoughts, you gotta control that. How do you control that? How do you think more positive? You know what? You start watching more things that make you think positive. So not only during that time are you watching a video that is now either educating you, inspiring you, motivating you, and during that time period, your body and your mind is soaking that in. But then if you afterwards reflect about that, now all of the time that you reflect upon those videos and those things that you've heard, you are now, again, changing your mind. You're now reinforcing something new. So, get into something. You want to heal? Learn. Learn something new. And normally, it's best, again, my experience, to start with you. Who are you? Know thyself. Why is this so important? Because again, this is going to solidify how all is in the mind and how powerful your mind is when you realize who you are. Because right now you think that you are just this person, but you're not. That's the illusion. That's your ego. That's the same person that's anxious and nervous and selfish and rigid and all of that other stuff. That's not really you. You got to be on your Jim Carrey. I'm not Jim Carrey. That was a character that I decided to play for a while. Be funny. Who are you? Dig. Dig. Don't know? Search. Start with your name. You know, some people believe that we pick our names. It's the first clue of who you are and who you are to become. Because you are your name. You are your name. It has a vibration. It has symbolism. It has things that are connected to it. And you, whether you know it or not, will be your name. And this is why there is so much, pressure put on to name someone. And why people name people after people, right? So they can hold that same frequency, sound, name, right? So my name is Sierra. And Sierra means high peaks and mountains. And anyone who knows me knows, A, I'm very tall. B, my head's definitely in a cloud. Yeah. Woof, life. It's felt like a mountain. Not gonna front. Yeah. That's your girl. High peaks, high mountains. Who lives up in the mountains? Shamans and monks and things of that nature. Nature. Very nature girl, for sure. Love to be outside. A mountain. Something, you know, at one time, Pangea, you know, all those mountains were connected, right? And so I do feel like there's something about me that, you know, can see from such a high perspective that I see all the connections, and I see how it was just one thing. My middle name is Yvonne. Yvonne is connected to a couple things. We got Eve, right? Yvonne, Eve, right? Get into etymology. Teach yourself. Learn. This is how you heal. So Yvonne is connected to Eve, and Eve has its own vibration. But Yvonne is also connected to the Yule tree, Y-E-W. This tree, which, interestingly enough, in this divine universe of no coincidences, is an evergreen tree that, you know, when it is nourished and flourishing, it is actually a female tree and actually bears fruit. But under high stress, this tree can actually become masculine and not bear any red berries. So, yeah, interestingly enough, there's actually 2 Yule trees in my front yard that my father put there when I was very young. You know, why? I don't know. Because they say that Yule trees are normally like near churches and in cemeteries. They actually absorb a lot of the nutrients and things within the soil. And so it has a lot of different lore for a lot of different things, including being the tree of life. Like this tree symbolizes, you know, eternal life. Yeah, I like to think I represent all of that. And that is actually why, you know, I had to kind of box out my star and start to shine, share, right? Because it's time. It's just time. Okay. So, 1, fake it till you make it when you're happy. 2, expand your mind. Learn something. There's so many things to learn. What are you interested in? Who are you? Get interested in you. Start to dig. Say I go by the name CC Sunshine Superstar, and I'm a Scorpio, and I'm not a jealous guy. Or is that okay to say nowadays? What is your zodiac sign?